Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Simon here with another episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. This is episode number 4, and last week, a lot of people were excited over the fact that we got a live-action Bo-Katan, and we got a mention of Ahsoka Tano. I thought both were done extremely well. I've been very worried about, them bringing over characters that have already been established in the likes of Rebels and the Clone Wars, and bringing them into live action. More so just because, it's always a risk. It's always a risk when you take something that has been established and the fans have a certain expectation of, and you bring it over into live action. Bo-Katan was done super well. Really well done. The same actress who it was voiced by and also based upon. The looks of Bo-Katan were based upon Kate's, I forget her second name all the time, but she voiced Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars, and she is Bo-Katan, and so it was so well done. The whole episode, it felt like an episode of the Clone Wars. It really did. It wasn't too fancy. It had a simple purpose, and it led you on to bigger and better things. We're now heading towards Ahsoka Tano, where she's on this planet which is weirdly named after the ship from Battlefront 2, the Corvus, which is apparently a forest planet. But that's where Ahsoka's hanging out right now. Unless it's a trap, unless she's moved on, and this is going to be like a little bit of a cat and mouse chase for the rest of the season. I mean, who knows? We could end up getting Ahsoka in the middle of the season. If you'd have asked me beforehand, who do you expect to show up this season? And when do you expect to see them? Now, there are a number of names I would have given because of the rumours that were put out there. Ahsoka was one of them, Bo-Katan was one of them, Boba was one of them. Even Sabine would have probably been one of them, though I heavily doubt that Sabine is going to show up, especially seeing as people assume that Sasha Banks was going to be playing her based off the trailer, and we know that that's not the case. Sasha Banks' character was called Koska Reeves. But the other three, obviously the first two, very solid because Boba showed up in the first episode and Bo-Katan was in the last episode. And, I would have said, yeah, I reckon Ahsoka will be in the last episode. It'll be one of those kind of Vader and Rogue One moments where you save the best till the very last. But now, I'm not as convinced. I'm thinking that maybe we're going to see maybe this episode or the next. Or they could, as I say, go down the route of the cat and mouse chase where, she gets mentioned, we go to the planet where she's supposed to be, and then she's not there, and we have to go and follow her to each and every different planet. But, you see, I can see Season 2 culminating in a battle with Moff Gideon's fleet, because we know that Bo-Katan is wanting the Darksaber to restore her place as ruler of Mandalore. And so I get the feeling this is going to be like all of the people that the Mando has met and made friends come together at the end of the season and fight the big fight. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it could change. It could be different, but who knows? But yeah, so far, first 3 episodes, really solid. Some really, really great, characters that have been brought in. And again, the Mando is just such a cool character. And the child, Baby Yoda, I mean, I know he's been given a little bit of flack for eating all those frog eggs. And someone pointed out in the comments, it's right. He is just doing what any kid would do. They don't really have a sense of morals at this point. For him, those eggs were just food. But we know better. But he made friends with them in the end, and the frog lady and the frog man, they got to have their babies, which is nice. So, Mando's now limping along with a ship held together by netting and string. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he can even get to Corvus, with the state his ship's in. But we are going to jump in. Before we do, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon super supporters, Frank Tremel, Karen Abel, Ace, Nick Walters, The 7 Deadly Sins, Damon Smallwood, Michael Y, Clara at Gros-Louis, Mr. Greg89, Tyrone Tyrone, Pobinhas, and Matt Okeefe. So, without further ado, let's jump in and let's see what happens next.
Okay, do you have the wire?
Is he helping him with the repairs? Oh my god, look at that. He's a little engineer.
You get the wire out. The red wire.
Oh my god. Oh, he's going to electrocute himself.
Red wire,
No.
the blue wire goes in the board, okay? And the red one was. So keep them away from each other.
Oh my god.
Hold them apart.
Yeah.
No, hold them apart.
Oh no. No. Oh no.
Are you okay?
Oh. I love the fact that we just had an opening 2-3 minutes purely of Baby Yoda being an engineer. The Marshal? Oh, is it Clara? Yeah, it looks like Cara Dune. We shall only refer to her as Cara Dune and not the real-life actress who has several controversial opinions. Well, at least he fixed the retro rockets. We ain't crashing.
Taking good care of him?
Oh my god. How can they make one character so adorable and do it in a different way every week? It's a school? Oh! It's a protocol droid. Oh, he's his first day at school! They grow up so fast. I mean, sure, he's 50. But you know, you're never too old to learn. He wants the food. Give him the food. Yeah. You just became the most hated person on this show. I hope they're paying this kid good because he's just tanked his career. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Some use the Force for good, some for evil, some use it for the nom-noms. Who's gonna steal it? You're in the middle of nowhere. Oh! Ow. Oh shit, speeder bikes. I love the Imperial scenery. I love the, you know, the cleanliness of it all. I love the symmetry of it. It's so cool. Makes you wonder what they're still doing here. There must be something worth protecting because, you know, there's not much on Navarro now for them. Health and safety is a nightmare in the Star Wars universe.
Hurry up, purge the drives.
Purge the drives?
Destroy it.
What? No, shoot them! What are they hiding? What the fuck? Are they cloning vats? That's Palpatine's theme.
I thought you said this was a forward operating base.
Or it's at least a Sith theme.
No.
I highly doubt we'll find a donor with a higher M count, though. I recommend that we...
M count. Midichlorian.
I fear that the volunteer will meet the same regrettable fate if we proceed.
That's why they want the baby.
Unfortunately,
They need the blood for Palpatine.
exhausted our initial supply of blood. I will not disappoint you again. Moff Gideon.
The donor.
This must be an old transmission.
It's Palpatine! Holy shit! M count. Midichlorian count.
He's alive, then.
They want the baby for the blood. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. The alien guy is just so out of his depth. Oh, bye-bye. Uh-oh. I love the references. Even the dialogue, it's just like little callbacks to the original films. Oh, boys. Oh, boys. Oh, my God. Oh, the guy's speeder.
Wait, is that my speeder?
Oh, oh, I love that. Environmental dangers. He's aboard. Where's Mando? Oh, boy, that's not how you want to die. Oh, he's right there. Oh, my God. Yeah, there's not much left of him. They're markings on the helmets. That stripe down the middle, that's a reference to Palpatine's guard. Holy shit. At the same time, fire. Oh. Oh shit, they got no guns. Is that the Razor Crest? Yes! They fixed it.
Hang on, kid.
And he's got the kid who's still got the biscuits. You got him. Yeah! Oh, spin. Try spinning. That's a good trick.
Not too bad, huh, kid?
He's gonna throw up. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is their way of getting her out of the show, if I'm being honest. Have her go join the Rebel Alliance or the New Republic, and she doesn't show up again for season 3. Oh shit. We're getting Imperial destroyers. Oh my god, that's so cool in live action. Ah, oh, it's such a cool shot. Who is we? What are those things behind him? They look kind of like Death Troopers, but they're not. Oh man, I'm getting some really weird horror vibes from that last scene. Oh, this episode revealed a lot. It revealed so much. We finally know why they want the child. We know why they wanted to experiment on him. They need blood. They need blood that has midichlorians in them, which, you know, I guess makes sense. They're trying to clone Palpatine, which we know from The Rise of Skywalker is something that does eventually succeed, but it has to succeed through sort of Sith alchemy and the dark arts. Whereas I'm assuming the Empire at this point are trying to use more traditional science to revive Palpatine, and they obviously are able to make bodies, but they need blood that can sustain midichlorians. Now they said the donor. They mentioned something in there about needing more samples from the donor. Now that makes me wonder if they have the original body of Palpatine, or if there is someone else who's Force sensitive who they have a body of. I mean, I don't know. The donor needs to be someone who has a midichlorian count high enough to be on Palpatine's level. We know that Anakin was burned to a crisp. Can't be him. Unless they have cloned someone else. I really can't say what's going on right now, but it is clear it's a cloning operation. That's why they were trying to destroy all the evidence. There were a lot of failed experiments. And And I'm wondering now if at the very end of the episode there where we saw Moff Gideon with all of those very eerie kind of black suited things, I wonder if they're clones. I wonder if he's cloned himself. I don't know, but they look really cool. They kind of looked a bit like Death Troopers, but not quite like Death Troopers. They were much taller and had different helmets. Now, one other thing that makes me almost certain that it's Palpatine as well, and this is a nice little reference, is that the TIE pilots had a vertical grey stripe down their helmets. And, I mean, this may not necessarily be true, but it's, from what I remember, is in the comics, when Palpatine had his own personal guard, and this includes his Royal Guard had their own personal TIE interceptors. They were some of the best pilots in the galaxy. And anyone who was in that division, anyone who was basically Palpatine's personal guard, had sort of a vertical grey stripe down their helmet. It was to differentiate them from, the rest of the Empire and the Imperial units. And those pilots had that stripe. So, this could indicate that the people and the stormtroopers there on that base were the Emperor's personal guard. Which, not being needed on, the Death Star because it's gone, they probably found themselves protecting the next most valuable thing after Palpatine's gone, which is probably his clones. And I don't think most of the people in the Empire would know about what was going on Exegol. I mean, Exegol is only a rumoured world at this point. So that's obviously the backup plan. Outside of that, this was a really strong episode. I mean, the opening 5 minutes were literally just us watching a puppet of a child trying to do wiring and then almost electrocuting himself. They managed to milk that for a whole 5 minutes, and I could watch an entire episode of just that. I could watch an entire episode of Baby Yoda trying to figure out how to put the red one into the blue one. I'm here for that. How they make this child so adorable in so many different ways every episode baffles me. Firstly, the person who came up with Baby Yoda deserves a massive raise. I hope they are living a life of luxury right now because they deserve it. That was a stroke of genius when someone thought, let's make a Baby Yoda, and then they designed it to look so adorable. It's just a masterstroke, and I honestly, if they ever get rid of the child, I can't. People are gonna be so pissed. They've kind of tied themselves into it now. Baby Yoda and the Mando now go together. As well as I can't think of a suitable reference that. I mean, I can't think of many things that actually went together that didn't end up breaking up. I mean, you could say eggs and bacon. But then you can have them on their own. You're not too bothered. This is a stronger connection than eggs and bacon. But it really, I mean, they've really done a top-class job. And this episode, bringing back in some characters from Season 1, bringing us back to the Imperial theme, and now giving us a bit of depth into, what's going on a larger scale. And I knew that engineer was dodgy when they looked across, and I was like, what are they doing? And thankfully it was just a tracker. It wasn't, anything more. But that could lead the Empire to Ahsoka, which is going to be dangerous. And I certainly hope that they don't find the blood that they need in Ahsoka, because Ahsoka is extremely talented, and she is a very strong Jedi. But I think if you're I don't know. I guess the child's blood may not have been strong enough either because they were so young, or because maybe they're not as strong in the Force as we might expect. I mean, we all sit there and we think because he looks like Yoda, he's going to be like Yoda, and he's going to be super strong in the Force, but that's not necessarily true. But this episode, fan-dabby-dozy. Loved it. Loved seeing the return of some of the characters, and with regards to Cara Dune, yes, her actress has some very controversial opinions that is probably going to cost her the role. which, you know, Disney is well within their rights to do. People can say, you know, free speech and whatnot. And yes, absolutely, Gina has the right to say what she wants, but she's not free from consequence of her free speech. And, you know, Disney don't want that kind of negative attention. They don't want that kind of negative press when it comes to, you know, this year being such a sensitive, being such a sensitive topic. You know, you don't want any kind of, you know, anti-maskers or anti-vaccine people on the crew. And so I think their out for her character was, don't kill her, let her go join the rebellion. It feels more authentic, and it gives, I mean, it's unlikely she'll ever come back, but it gives rise to opportunities to bring her back in the future. So, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the next one.